Hello and welcome. This is the seventh part in this series, and this one will focus on that of capitulation or the market crashing. And as we left off, the market in the accumulation mode, but was starting to fall down a little bit, seeing it go from 20,000 down to 12. What a decline. And I've numbered these 1 through 7, and that's when a transaction would take place. Where on the first one you'd sell at the 27 and change handle. On the second one we'd sell at the 35. And the buyback you'd be buying 5,400 because this is neutral territory. So it's a partial buyback with every single one of them. And then at number 4 we would sell. Number 5 sell again. And number 6, 3 different transactions occurred. It was over 2 days. The red candle down day and the green one that pierced below. The first was buying at 32,000 and then buying at 26. But on the green candle day where the number 6 is located, the market closed at 36,076. So that was a sell opportunity. And then on number 7, the current day, or on February 6th, price action would come back down to 26,010. So therefore, it worked out within these 9 transactions in total. There were 5 sells and 4 buys, but only minus 800 in the coins. And every single time in which you had a sell and buyback, a portion, like for example, every 1 unit Bitcoin you would sell for, you might buy back for like 0.9 Bitcoin, and you'd get more. So you get X amount more for like 90% of the Bitcoin, and that extra little bit, like always, would be in the profit take mode. Now, on February 6th was an interesting date as well within the Bitcoin price. For within its market, it has now been seeing several lower lows, lower highs, and it is also hit a buy the point. Because earlier on I was mentioning, okay, when Bitcoin goes to 4,000, 5,000, 8,000, we'll just keep on selling. And I was, and the most highest sell order around 17, 18, 19, 16, wherever it was, let's assume, well, then you'd be buying back at 6,000. Maybe you get 2.5, 2 3/4 times more, maybe even 3 times more, selling at 18, buying at 6. And at that point, you'd have your buy order executed. What do you do with this Bitcoin? Well, if you wanted to start profit taking again, well, you probably would have got this one because that's where the next top would come into place, but the Fibonacci would work out to 12,627. You could use them just to hold them in your storage wallet. Maybe you want to do a small profit taking section, even though the market's going down. I don't think I would be. But if you were maybe in need of a few groceries or something of that nature, you'd have extra Bitcoin for it. You could put them into other altcoins. Coins are going down. Now, you could put more into this coin as well. But however, you'd have to think to yourself, do you really need to? Do you have a large enough stake as it is? Because you have now become a decent sized large player, given all your transactions and everything, that putting things into other coins when you get a buy order fill like that just might be one suggestion. But let's move on within the coin. And there's really no need for me to just go over the numbers back and forth. Oh, let's put an order here, let's put an order there, because you already figured. I've already talked about that within the previous parts. I just want to talk about these 4 timelines. First, the letter A, where we left off, just so we know it's. And in this market, something that's had a significant, decent leg lower, several amount of periods in the 18 average. This is the daily chart. A little bit of sideways moving going up, but A was where he left off. Now B, when you have these moves like this, you just have to sell. It's nothing else more you can do. You have your sell orders in, and if you don't, well, you missed it. On C, as we would head into March, it is breaking below neutrality, because neutrality was between 20 and 50. So it broke below it. Now it already was below it before this point in here. And then on D, it resisted it. Now why that would be important was because I was talking about neutral buybacks. Now at this stage here, moving forward, you'd be going back to full buybacks. So if you got one Bitcoin on a sale, you would buy back what one Bitcoin could buy at the cheaper prices. And then thus accumulating coins, and well, looks like we're heading into accumulation mode if this thing's going to break down further, and it does. As this was the little bit of a fool's rally, I call it the April Fool's rally because a lot of the coins had that collectively. And the global altcoin market is similar to this, grinding straight down, little action in or above the 18 average. So in trading such of this degree, you're going to have spots where you can buy in here and sell back where it came from. You're going to have spots where you can profit take a bit here and probably buy back. Sell again up here. But from this sell point to here, all you would have really had would have been sell orders, or buy orders hit rather. That is it. And those sell orders you would hit would just be like nothing. You get maybe one small one here. Maybe you got a small one here. Maybe again you get a small one in this point, but really nothing. And your portfolio is going to be going lower. There's nothing else to say about that. Against Bitcoin, and as the market's been going down for Bitcoin itself, also in that fashion as well. But when all you're doing is buy, oh, maybe not sell, you're losing. Yeah, sure, all of these buys and sells that you can get in here and the odd one here and there, they help a little bit, but when they go straight down, you're going to see what was my portfolio worth against Bitcoin here? And then what was it at the start of August? And it's worse. But then you have to say to yourself as a trader, where do you personally stand amongst everything that has went on? For you've done well in selling a lot of these coins at higher prices, and when you goes down like this, you're going to have opportunities here and there, but will the market go back up again? As long as this coin isn't dead, it probably will. And you're going to notice great profits that will come in tune again. But sometimes you're just going to have to go through periods where all you can just do is just buy like this because of those the style of markets where there really was just no buying pressure whatsoever during these bear runs. And that's been the case before with some of these coins in the past, especially with Litecoin and some other ones. And as we even move further upon this thing kept going down to the August lows, straight down like this, and had gone sideways. So what would this mean for yourself? Well, up until the August lows, it would have meant nothing but buying. We can see that the August that level is microscopically above where the price would stand at this current point at the 22.25 handle. But you know that this strategy is going to do so well for profiting along the way. For from that point, the market went up where you could have sold, and then just the down up to where that 19 is, that the bottom part in here, where you'd be buying, and then and here's some selling, and just all these little bits of back and forth movements in there. There's all these little bits of opportunities that would come in play, that as there's nothing to do but notice that you are losing in here, you're going to notice that you're profiting on the spots, because when you look at your market against this coin, when it comes down to these lows in here, yourself trading it, you'd be making a higher low. Or, yeah, you'd be making a higher low. And then when you look at your portfolio say in the highs before October, they would be at least as good as the ones after the August ones. And the highs after 2019 should be higher than your August highs because of the buy low, sell high type of strategy that is manifesting. But it's still going to take some time doing what you're doing just to get back to the levels that you would have been beforehand. But overall, the strategy is going to work out for great profits in most conditions here. And the final slide for this video will be its chart against the dollar. Its code is game credits. It's not one I'm trading, and I've traded in the past. It's got outstanding volatility of big levels, high numbers up and down, which is what makes it viable for the risk reward. Because when playing these types of codes like Litecoin and Ethereum and Ripple, they don't have the same kind of a volatility as 30, 40, 50, 60, or even over 100 of these coins that are available. Because we live in a world where we can say, oh, wait a second, Bitcoin has just had a gain. We'll say, yeah, what did Bitcoin do? Oh, it went from 4,000 to 20,000. It's up 5 times back to its previous highs. And although this might not be at its previous highs at that point, you might say, oh, really? Because that went up 5 times, and this one's at $1.50. Oh, and that went up 15 times. And maybe you could say Bitcoin's up 5 times higher and this altcoin's up 100 times higher. Those are the things that don't surprise me when you're talking about the hidden gems, but more importantly, the coins with the much lower market caps than the ones at the top of the list, like the Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and the such. And in looking at this type of chart as it is, like a lot of them has had, you have your uptrend, your downtrend, and this could even still go down even a bit further and still make a higher low from when this begun back in here. But whether it's then or at that point, you can say to yourself, if it managed to go from the 2015 lows to its 2018 highs, and it makes a higher low, then what's it going to do on its next rally attempt? Could it get up to 7 and 20 or 30? And we're sitting here at 1/10 of one of that, or a dime. And you could be saying, yeah, if it goes up to say a $10, it'd be a little over 100 times its value. And okay, well, it's done it before. And when it comes to this trading, it's that of a game. It's all about the game and how you play it. And what I've been showing in this video is really a system, a idea for playing this game and gaining as many of the credits. And when I say credits, your profits and what you make on it, that you can. The better off you are in the game, well, that will show within the credits that you make. But you want to get yourself into a position so that when you know these inevitable downtrends are going to happen, that you are able to handle the situations just fine. For when mentioning things like the Bitcoin hedge, I showed earlier in this slide where in February it fell down to 6,000. Well, there was another sell order that would have had a buy order at 4,000. And that would have hit as the market was falling in the autumn of 2018. So there would have been 2 of your hedges that would have already bought back. So getting yourself into any kind of positions that you can, so that if the market retraces, you are going to be at the best that you possibly can be. That's why when you have the up moves, and I talked about all that profit taking, because you know situations like this are going to exist. What's not going to happen is what happened from 2015 to 2018, and it always stays above the 18 lows, and when it goes below it, all you're going to get is stuff like this. That just doesn't cut it. And then in here as well too, it barely went below the 18 lows. But just as we're seeing it now, it can't stay below it now. It's most likely going to get above this area here again, and it's just going to be glory times. And within this trading system, you see a pattern like this where it goes down, it's been going sideways. Well, who knows where it's going to break out of the sideways range, and I don't want to guess. But I want to have my buy and sell orders ready so that when it does go up or down at a particular level, they will hit, and then again you adjust to the message of the market, adjust to the mathematics upon your orders, and so on. Now, I've already covered a lot of the stuff that some of the stuff that I was planning on covering in the next part, which is a conclusion. That will be the final part. As far as its upload date for people watching this live, maybe not on Thursday, but either Thursday the 21st of February or the 22nd day. Have yourself a great day, and thank you so far for all who have been watching this series. Much appreciated, and best of luck within your trading. Bye-bye.